So, hey, everybody out there, let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're showing up, posting, doing all the right things, and yet nobody seems to notice? I mean, you put your heart into your content, you share your offers, you try to be consistent, but instead of momentum, it just feels like nothing. Well, if that feels like it's hitting a little close to home, stay with me here as we get started because in just a few minutes, I'm going to show you the shift that changed everything for me and for my clients. So, if you have ever felt like you're doing all the things, but you're still getting crickets, do not want to miss this next part. So hang on with me. And why don't you tell me where you're from in the comments while I get everything started. Da, 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 da. Somebody's asking me, how do they watch my live? I'm like, I don't know. Hmm. Nope, there it is. Look. So hang on 2 seconds. So it has been such a fun week as I'm coming back from my cruise, which was it was good. It was a good cruise. Um, it was a quiet cruise, and the weather was just like all over the place. And yeah, but just bear with me here as I get everything set up on my end. Because I don't know why Facebook does things the way it does. There we go. There's that. There's that. And we should be all set. Let me find where I was. All right. I can see comments here on Facebookity book. So I am good to go. And thank you for bearing with me there. And welcome to the Fulfilled Spiritpreneur Live. I am Lindsay, the founder of Super Secret Powers, and I'm here to help intuitive entrepreneurs turn their deep soul knowing into a magnetic business strategy that doesn't just work, it calls in your dream clients effortlessly. So if your posts haven't been landing, if your offers haven't been converting and engagement, well, it feels like barely a trickle, you are in the right place because I will help you out of that misalignment maze. And I know the struggle because I've been there too, right? It's like standing in a crowded room, pouring out your message, and instead of people stopping to listen, they just keep walking past. I mean, maybe they're like looky loos and they're like, what is that person talking about? But they keep walking because they don't know. Well, they don't know it's for them, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's be honest, that feeling, I mean, that's exhausting, right? I mean, it's so heavy and it kind of gets you all up in your monkey mind and a little bit triggered. And then, like, you start to wonder things like, is my work even resonating? Like, am I just not meant to be seen? Is it something about me? Or, what makes me so different from this other person that I keep seeing, right? Um, I know I offer valuable stuff. I know I'm good at what I do, but why is it just not happening for me when it seems to be happening for others? And it is so easy to internalize all of that. And, but here's the truth. I mean, here's the truth. Visibility is not about doing more. And it's not about perfecting your content strategy or hacking an algorithm or, even having the perfect polished appearance. It's about something deeper. And it's something that almost nobody talks about because they want to sell you a strategy. They want to sell you the next big thing. They want to, teach you how to do the thing on TikTok, whatever. Because see, it's not just about showing up. I mean, we can show up in so many ways. We can show up, through our writing and through our videos and lead magnets. And it's not really about posting more because you can post until the cows come home. But it doesn't mean you're going to get the feedback. It doesn't mean you're going to get the results that you do want to see. And it certainly isn't about chasing the algorithm because you know what? The algorithm changes. And the algorithm depends on what different server you might be on for the platform that you're looking at. I mean, we've all seen how Facebook rolls out some of their changes where some people have it and some people have to wait a while to get it because it's going through all the different computers and updating them that they have attached to their Facebook system. So, I mean, how can you even begin to keep up with that? I mean, you don't. You can't. You can only control what you can control. And that's you. So visibility has to be about your frequency. It has to be about your energy and the place that you're showing up from. So today I want to help you shift a little bit more into that effortless attraction frequency within yourself. And so before we dive fully into this, remember to grab your journal, maybe pour yourself a hot cup of something. I don't have much left. And take a deep breath. Because remember, this is only about what you can control, right? So coming into your sense of center, your sense of joy about what you do is the most important thing you can do. So let all those other thoughts just kind of fall away for right now. So, what is the number one reason that visibility feels like a struggle? And let's have an honest moment here. Because there's something that just isn't addressed very often out here in internet lands and internet lands about business. And visibility isn't about luck. It's not about how to get your post to go viral. And it's definitely not about burning yourself out, trying to be everywhere at once. And jumping on, every newest content type trend. Because it is all about the frequency you have been broadcasting from. And when you are in that place of trying to do more and maybe you don't even know what you want to say or how it works, or your message is not going to come across and your energy is not going to come across clear enough for people to know that your message is for them. I mean, imagine this for a second. You're in your car, you're trying to tune into your favorite radio station, and the music is playing, but it's a bit fuzzy, it's filled with static, it's cutting in and out. So, the station is there, it's broadcasting, they might have what you want and they might get around to playing what you want, but you just can't seem to lock into the signal, right? And it gets annoying in a sense. And you just ugh, I can't even pay attention to that because it's half in, half out, and it's not exactly where you thought it, what you want it to be. So that is what's happening right now with your visibility, especially when you're in those stages where you're stuck in that misalignment maze. And people can sense that. I mean, they know you're there. They see you're trying to show up. But instead of stopping to engage, they keep, just scrolling on by because your broadcasting signal, and no, I'm not talking about the internet, but your broadcasting signal isn't strong enough for them to lock into, for them to find something to resonate with. Does that make sense? Give me a 2 in the comments if that makes sense. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. And what happens when our frequency isn't strong, clear, and magnetic? Well, they're going to keep trying different stations until they find something that they can, well, live with or settle for, or at least something that is comfortable enough for them that it will, help their drive pass a little faster. So, do we want that to happen? Or do we want people to hear our voice and feel our joy and our authenticity? See, it doesn't always matter if we have the perfect script. I mean, I'm using a script for these, but because, I just had a rebrand. So I have to get used to speaking a new language and speaking to my people in a different way. And sometimes we do need tools like that, like scripts and a flow of something worked out before we can fill our groove with it, especially for live video. But a script can never replace who you are and your lived experience and the values and what you want to bring to the world. So, I mean, what do you do when you feel unseen then, right? Let's dive into this and let's pick this apart a little bit so that you can maybe see the pattern a little bit clearer. And let's talk about what you've already tried, right? So, when visibility feels hard, your first instinct, well, your survival instinct, your protector self, your then monkey mind comes out and it says, oh no, we need to fix this. We have to do more stuffs. We have to try this other thing. Or maybe if I, go and look at this person's posting strategy and take it, well, then for surezies, it's going to work for me. More posts, more engagement in groups, more questions thrown out there, more trying to beat the algorithm. But let's be real. If the effort, or if the answer was effort, more effort, wouldn't you already be booked out? I mean, take a deep breath into that. I know you're trying so very hard. So the real reason that the visibility stuff feels like a fight is because you're trying to force people to notice you. You're trying to, wave them down, shout. You got your megaphone out. You got your what is that analogy that they use often in marketing? You've got that sign, and you're standing at the airport trying to call in your people with your one short, powerful sign. Instead of making them feel drawn to you because you're in your center. I mean, maybe they don't need to be exactly riled up in that way. Maybe they need somebody who's going to sit down with a calmer energy, someone who's going to be able to help them regulate their own system, someone who's going to be able to piece things apart like we are here today. And it has nothing to do with that polished appearance or having the perfect script, because you are just being you. And you're showing a side of you that's going to help you reflect a deeper and more powerful message to someone else. So that difference That difference is your energy, your alignment with what you're doing and what you're saying, and the frequency with which you're carrying that message and displaying it out. Or maybe not even displaying it out, but allowing it to be reflected out into the world, out into somebody else's fields. Because you are just in your own sense of being. You're in your own sense of, God, I love what I do, right? Right? So tell me, what visibility struggles have been stopping you lately? Tell me in the comments. Let's go a little bit deeper. Let's, help you specifically shift, where it is that this is all kind of stuck up in your energy, mind, heart space. All right. So, how do we get there? Certainly a lot harder to get there when we are caught in that misalignment maze because we have already taken so much way far down the rabbit hole than it needs to go. We've taken the discouragement and we've taken it all the way down to I suck or whatever it is. So we need to be very conscious first. Change always starts with awareness. We need to be very conscious of um, what that internal critic is saying so that we can then begin catching it faster, because that's really just our protector self, and that has absolutely nothing to do with reality. That's just your protector saying, like, do we need to put our guards up again? Do we need to build more walls? Do we need, like, why are we feeling upset? Don't feel upset. No, you gotta hide now. But it's bull. It's bull in the end, right? So we have to find a place within us where we can make a commitment to shifting our frequency and being intentional about it when we know we have to put something out there for somebody else, which is marketing. That is what marketing is. So one of the little practices that I've started to incorporate more lately, as I'm feeling more and more comfortable with where the new message is going and how I feel about it and all that, is right before a video, I spend 10 minutes watching funny animal videos. Because it helps clear my space. It helps open my heart up again so that I can then present more clearly. And it puts me in a better space within myself so that not only am I just presenting it, but I'm enjoying the process. I was watching the dog and he was hitting the thing, he was hitting the person, and he wanted the massager thing. I can't think of what they're called. the kneading massager thing. Like, he was like, no, give it to me. And, I'll have that kind of going through the back of my head, allowing just this greater sense of this doesn't have to be full of pressure, right? To come through when I'm talking to you, when I'm trying to have these conversations, when, I'm just being here for somebody else. So instead of asking yourself, how do I get people to see me? We just kind of shift the thought to, how am I showing up? Because if you are creating and attempting to show up from the pressure and the obligation and but I have to do this in order to make sales. I have to do this to keep my momentum up. We are certainly not then coming from our magnetism, because love and joy are magnetic. They increase our energy, and by extension, they help increase other people's energy because they can reflect it back. So just what would it be like to show up, to do your posts, to, show up on camera, to show up in those times as or connected with that deep desire to be with amazing people you love. I mean, sometimes it helps to think that you are speaking or writing to a very specific person because it allows you to tune into what they need to hear a little bit better. There are a couple tips and tricks, and we certainly get into it in the rest of my work and my private sessions and in my memberships and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's a big topic. But the thing is also, I want you to feel into this, especially when we're stuck in this bitterness, in a sense that it hasn't happened, or that pity me, inner critic kind of self that, it hasn't happened yet for you. Remember, you are not owed clients. We earn clients by managing our own lives, our own expertise, and how we showcase that, and in our energy, in being somebody, at least for the few minutes online that we do show up, that other people want to be around. I'm certainly not saying like bypass all the bad stuff that happened in your life, but for 20 minutes, isn't it possible that you can shift your energy to be in the space of gratitude that you get to show up with and for other people? I mean, how does that feel? How does that feel within you? Please chat with me in the comments. Now, I'm not saying we all have to be Spock and do the bypassing thing, but showing up online for online sales has to be intentional. And our energy has to be clear, at least in the moments that we are doing that, or that we are, preparing or writing for that, so that our heart and our expertise and our wisdom can shine through the messages, or shine through the messiness that we all experience in life. Because we all have it. There's nobody who's perfect out there in the world. And the more perfect they seem, that's probably because the more people they have more people on their team. I mean, let's be honest. Well, let's get into, what's behind the mirror of some of this showing up stuff, right? So, the second thing to realize in this is that perhaps you are not talking to the right people. I mean, yes, you're talking to the people on your profiles, but have you even brought in your ideal client into your profile? Onto your profile, into your followers list. And if your message has been changing up, and if it's been a little weak, and if it's been a little too vague, your ideal client may or may not be there. And so we have to make this very intentional effort to speak to the people we want to bring in. And, well, I mean, there are some ways you go and you try and find them too. But here's how we get that clarity. We start tapping into at least one client archetype that is going to be perfect for the offer we have. And of course, you can switch things up later. I mean, a well-established brand is going to speak to a couple different archetypes, but when we're talking about product promotion and putting offers out there, offers have to be for somebody. You're offering it to a somebody. So what you have to know about that somebody is where they are now in their life, where they want to be, big and short term, big dreams and in the short term. Common challenges in making the transition, or what's commonly known as pain points, what stage of development they are in, and what they need, and what they need for the product to be effective. So, I mean, it's just making sure that it's at the right time, at the right place for them, and you call it in just by naming it. By naming it and talking about it in your content. Um, and lastly, having already had some kind of wake up call about the change they need to make. Because if they haven't had a wake up call yet, how will you ever show them that you are the person that you are meant to be, or that you are meant to help them? And I mean, in marketing, these are called activation points, but you just kind of want to wrap your brain around the idea of these wake up calls. Like, what what changed in you? What changed in the last couple clients? They said, maybe I need to try something different. What was going on in their lives? What brought about those wake up calls? Because the deeper you can kind of get into the story of hows and the whys that they are ready for your work now, the easier it's just going to get to be able to talk about all that so that people can recognize themselves and where they are in their journey with it. And there's no need to make this like completely like overcomplicated. We are already sensitive, empathic people. And we have to learn to trust that because it's actually, our genius self when it comes to marketing. All right. And the third thing and the last thing is to show up like the seasoned professional you already are. Post like you already have clients and own the space like somebody who knows their worth. And this is just where it's not so much about making things up as not setting aside like your in-person clients from your online person, from like all those people that you trained with, and really just letting the body of your experience come forward and not separating it out, saying, oh well, I don't know if they count because that was just my practice partner. Even though it's a cool story, it was just my practice partner. I don't know, like, if that's going to be realness. Well, the modality is the modality. How you work it is how you work it. I mean, why are we picking apart the breadth of our experience? I mean, there are millions of reasons we can find that this all can be hard, but it's about like owning just yourself and the idea that you are an expert at something or coming into your expertise at something is more important than any strategy. You have you have to always lead with the passion that brought you here, the big why as to why you chose to do this, and keep it in the forefront of that mind heart space. And let's not overcomplicate that big why. You started because you love it. You started because it lights you up. You started because all you want to do is share it because you think it's so freaking cool. All right, let's keep it very real within ourselves and something we can latch on to. That dream you had when you first started. Not first started your business per se, but first started learning the modality. The hope that you had that this could be the thing. It could be your thing. It could be the thing that makes you jive and groove and the key to the rest of your life. Now we just have to start living that moment by moment, sentence by sentence, breath by breath. And of course, let's not confuse the symptoms of that misalignment maze with your worth, your value, or anything to do with you at all. Those doubts, confusions, and disappointments and the heavy feelings, they're all because you haven't quite gotten alignment with your message, your mission, and your people yet. Because you haven't given yourself permission to call in the exact people you want in your life. Because you've let strategy and all this stuff that maybe you feel like you don't understand about business come first. Because obviously, wiser minds made that up. No, Well, I mean, I don't know, who knows? But you're the one who has to run your business. Let it be for you and for them. And that sacred, easy transaction space. So even if you are just starting out, you do have an expertise in what you are doing and what you are using as a service for others. You are the expert, the one who runs the sessions and the one who dreams up the custom tailored offers for specific healing. So you are that person who says like, no, but maybe if I do this in the session, it might work better for everybody all around. That person has to show up in the content, as well as the person who is excited about what this can do for themselves and others and, the whole world. And we cannot let imposter syndrome stop us or feel like we have to prove ourselves through our content, because just living your most authentic life as this expert, as somebody who has chosen this for themselves, is actually the best kind of social proof there is out there, especially in this era of high skepticism. So it's never about dazzling people with amazing free cold readings, because you're never even really sure that they can process that in that moment, or about having deeper insights or fantastical meditation experiences, or over promising that you can give those results, right? And think about it this way. Just as you prepare someone for a session, right? Your content has to be about them, not you. So you don't go into your session saying like, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I don't know. When somebody comes to you to start a session, I mean, think about your tangible physical experiences with this. Like, you're, hi, how are you? How can I help you today? What do you want to know? Have you ever had anything like this before? Right? It's about them, not you. So it has to tap into that deeper wisdom of where the client needs to be in order for the session to be good for them. So that's, your content has to be about your brand or your product. And of course, it has to meet their immediate needs and concerns. And well, it has to be personable, right? This would be an awful talk if I just kind of sat here and just like, but are you sure you're ready? Anyway, translating that back into content just to be a little practical here. So let's take Reiki for an example, right? How to make it about them and not you, so that you are making sure that they are comfortable and that they are getting the answers and the things that they need to hear in order to just say, yes, let's do this. I'm excited. So here's a couple content ideas. I'm using Reiki as the example. So what brought Reiki into your life? Your favorite thing about a session? How people can prepare for their sessions, and asking for any other good ideas around that. What's it like to commit to your healing through having Reiki as part of your longer term support, so that you can then start talking about sessions versus packages and, whatever else you have to offer. Posts about what stuck emotions can feel like in the body, case studies around that, client stories, so that people can begin reflecting that and understanding how it applies to them. Inspiration, motivation, and mindset shifts around investing in one's well being. So, showing them that it is possible to get the result that they want, the aspirational dream that they want for themselves, the feeling better in the body that they want for themselves. how you help people prepare for a session. I mean, just talking about that on a video can bring out so many different pieces of your value and your story that, I mean, even each step can be broken up into one piece of content as to why this is important and why this is an intentional thing in your business and how it's going to actually help the client, help them do it to get what they want. All the different ways you can support them. Because maybe it's not only selling one session. Maybe they need something that is a little bit more convenient and tailored to their lifestyle. So, lastly, you could also talk about how to go about booking and scheduling, and of course, what your availability looks like. Because we want to make it easy for them so that they can say, oh, there's that information. Let me write it down. Or here's that information. Oh, I haven't had one in like 3 months. Yeah. Oh, she has a Thursday date, right? Get them thinking. Get them seeing that this is just an easy thing that they can go and do. And, so they can just go and do it. So these are all the things that you're even just likely to talk about in a new client session, right? So really kind of study that and study the energy you have when you're coming on live with somebody new, or you have somebody coming in for a in-person session that's a new client, and think about, how it is that you are with them, because that is probably an excellent way to show up online so that you can be in your value and your joy and your sense of connection to others. And so this is also where the Mystik Success Society kind of steps into this, and I do a shameless plug. But the doors are currently open for my membership. Closes in 2 days though, so on Friday it's going to close. But this level of energy, of transformation, it deserves a space where it can be nurtured and refined and amplified. And I'm not just going to shove a whole bunch of different lessons down your throat. I mean, the membership vault, of course, is there if you need it, but this is really more about meeting you where you are and helping you find the joy and the love and the presence and the alignment that you need in order to find your successful flow. So if you are ready to step into that energy, I mean, here's a little bit more about what happens in the Mystik Success Society. And I just want you to remember, in all of this, it's that you're not really stuck. You've just been tuned into the wrong frequency. You've been letting those inner voices of I need to be protected, I need to keep hiding, run the show. So this space is certainly where you can come to the society to help you learn how to support those versions of yourself so that you are working together and you do have a sense of holistic integrity about how you're showing up and how you make decisions and how you feel about being a business owner. And we don't just talk about visibility, we align your entire message, your energy, and your strategy so clients can't help but be drawn to you. So, I mean, it's certainly not just another let's manifest money kind of thing, and it's not a dry business thing either. Because a lot of those general membership spaces often have a hard time translating what you need to know back to a spiritual practitioner, because what we do tends to be so intangible that it becomes hard for people to wrap their brain around why we can't just name our benefits or our features or this or that, the other thing, right? So having that space that specializes for spiritual entrepreneurs is so essential. And and that is how you really begin to feel like you have the right support. Not just because you happen to be in business, but because you have these common challenges with how business gets interpreted for spiritual entrepreneurs. Um, so, I mean, we're going to stop the chasing, we're going to stop the burnout cycles, and we're just going to focus on how to cultivate your presence and your message and your potent magic for effortless attraction. We're not stuck on any one business model. We want to help you be able to customize and tailor your business to how your highest medicine works. And of course, we do that through the 70 plus lesson member vault, which is there at your disposal. But you're going to get 6 months of the support group, of the live support group, where we have mini masterminds once a month where you can get on, ask me questions, ask for feedback on stuff. Whatever it is you need, you can get it on the live mini mind, or you can get it just by typing me a post in the group. We have energy clearing sessions and accountability sessions, and we have a enchant your business workshop once a month. And next week, so if you join by Friday, next week, you get to attend the one we're doing on how to manage your energy when you are in a super high creative mode. So how to balance that feminine energy, that feminine masculine thing, so that you are a integrated being who is able to just contain that flow and bring it forward and anchor it into the world. But it's a lot more practical than any of that sounds. So stop hoping to be seen and start showing up like the leader that you were born to be. And drop a fire in the comments if you are done hiding and ready to magnetize your success. Are you ready to use your unique magic to become unforgettable by crafting messaging and content that naturally draws in the right clients? Are you ready to master the energy and strategy of success, all the while stepping away from burnout and into flowing consistency? Are you ready to have hands-on membership and support? Somebody who really gets you. You don't have to explain what your business is over and over again because that person just doesn't ever seem to get what you do. Well, I'll get it. I've been in this community over 30 years. I've seen it all. I love it all, which is why I'm here. And also, why I'm offering a Galentine's Day bonus, which is the Mystic Soul Expansion Bundle. So you'll get my Intuition Activation mini course. You'll get the Discover Your Authentic Meditation Style workshop. Even if you think you can't meditate, this is how you begin to learn, by really listening to your body and listening to your abilities and really kind of just playing with the idea that you can be at peace, that you can sense that inner stillness, or even just that sense of inner self within you. Because meditation does not have to look or be like any one thing. It is so individual to how you run and how you think and how you flow. But there are also light language transmissions and, of course, manifestation meditations, because who can't live without those? And then the thing that I am so very excited about, because it's leading into another launch a little bit later, is the Mystic Journal Mini Starter Tool. So this is just a daily like a daytime journal that is powered by AI. It is a custom GPT chat where you log in every day for a new session. It runs you through some structured prompts, but it also gives you feedback. And it's not just like crappy AI feedback. I've been developing this and I've been working with this for myself for quite a while. And I can't tell you how much it has allowed me to change my energy and to change the way I see things. Just to have that space where I have that validation and I have something that also can help me detect my own patterns that might still be hidden in my subconscious a little bit so that I can bring it forward. And of course, I use it with, I've uploaded my natal chart to it, I've uploaded my human design chart to it. I have it record all of my tarot readings every day for my, so I can go deeper into those practices and those understandings of, everything that kind of makes me me. And that makes me so much of a better business person, right? Because I don't have to hold all of that in me and then expect to show up all happy and all energetic and woo, 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 right? Having something that can help hold me and my dreams and my hopes and my fears and all of the shifting I want to do. I mean, it's just an amazing gift. I mean, it's a big bundle, but it is my Valentine's Day gift to you if you want to be in the Mystik Success Society. It starts at $77 a month, and there's a couple different options. There's even a VIP option for those who are quick starters and want to get everything into alignment as fast as they could. So yeah, let me actually bring that up on screen. I've talked and talked and talked about it. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Eek. There it is. Woohoo. So I will put the actual link in the comments just in case you cannot use the QR code. Sorry, I saw a picture of my dog scroll by. All right. And this is an application only society. So by going through the landing page, the sales page there, and doing the clicky on the link, that is only going to take you to the application. So once I go through the applications, of course, you will then get a letter in your email, kind of like, a letter from an owl. A golden ticket. And then we can talk about, how you want to invest in the Mystik Success Society and what level of support you actually need at this point in time. All right. I love you so much. And I actually have to go do an energy clearing in 10 minutes, 12 minutes. So I'm going to jump off. But yeah, let me know what your golden nuggets were from this talk today, and we can talk about it once I get off my next call. Because I went a little longer than I thought I would. But and of course, you can just sign up for notifications. You can hit follow or subscribe depending on what channel you're watching me on here, because I am on like this every Wednesday about seas, even when I'm on a cruise. So then you get to see tropical, beautiful locations when I have internet on my balcony. But all right. I love you all. I got to go prep for my energy clearing in the Mystik Success Society. Speaking of that. But I will see you next week and I will continue to check in on this chat in case you want to go a little deeper, right? Okay. Bye